I'm Jay Jackson. Welcome to WineNewsNoir.com. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. We begin in Woodland Hills, California, with a pop-up private wine tasting that featured more than unique wines and wine lovers. It also focused on dreams and diversity.
You gotta give me just a splash. Oh, splash. You got it. A splash of rosé of Pinot Noir.
Don't look for mobs of people or gallons of wine to be flowing at this wine tasting in upscale Woodland Hills, and that's just how Felicia Hodges likes it. She's the founder of Orange Boots Wine, and when she pours her vino, she wants the experience to be personal.
It's cozy. It's a neighborhood feel. It allows you to breathe. It allows you to flex your muscles. It allows you to introduce different varietals to individuals and, and see and hear what their appreciations are for it. It's not confining, and I don't like confinement, and it sort of does away at some level of committing to those spaces that people typically will go for a tasting and enjoy wines. It means a lot to me to have this flexibility and this breathing room, if that makes sense.
Hodges has been on a slow but steady coming out party, selling out almost every place she shows up.
So I have my Negro Amaro Rosé, I have my Viognier, I have my Sauvignon Blanc, Tannat, I have my Cabernet Sauvignon and my Syrah, the dotted line. And of course, I bring the white wines.
Felicia is also such an icon, in my opinion.
Winemaker Nelson Lopez of Ish Wines knows all too well. He says he's honored to be the first winemaker to host a co-tasting with Hodges and to promote diversity in the world of wine.
I think it's very important to realize that there is diversity in the wine industry. We can break those boundaries, we can break those molds. I think that's a very important thing. But in me specifically is where my people are working. We work the grapes, we work the vineyards, and very proud that that legacy, all of that work is coming through with the wine.
For me, it's important because I love intimate events. I love that, and that is what's near and dear to me. And with Orange Boots, that's what I've been striving for, having more intimate gatherings and keeping Orange Boots on a very small scale. It's a one-woman show, so I'm limited in that regard, and I embrace it.
All right, fun day. Confession, Orange Boots Cab is one of this journalist's favorite cabs on the market. A critical wine report, a new fire map, and good news from Spain. Here are the top stories for this month's Wine in a Minute. New California fire hazard maps show much of Northern California could be in for another devastating fire season. More than 1.4 million acres of land have been deemed very high hazard areas, which will trigger stricter building codes and safer planning code requirements. Unincorporated Sonoma County saw the biggest jump, with very high hazard areas going from 11 acres to 7,555 acres. The highly anticipated Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America year-end report is out, and it shows the downturn in wine sales continues. The report shows wine sales fell 7.2% and revenue fell 6.3%. Analysts say lifestyle changes such as abstinence and economic pressures are the primary reasons for the shift. Overseas, some good news for Spanish winemakers. They saw an overall value increase of 40 million euros in 2024 when it comes to exports. The UK was its biggest market, but value increased in the United States, Canada, and Mexico as well. However, volume fell slightly, which means consumers are buying Spain's higher-end wines, according to analysts. And finally, we go to San Francisco, where one wine educator put his knowledge to pen and paper 8 years ago. Now he's retelling the story for a new audience.
And we're drinking on a old vine red blend. Let's get it.
With his husky voice and laid-back style, Jayton Gunter is a familiar face in the world of wine. His Wine Wednesday and Wine Still of the Week shows are becoming online staples for those looking to broaden their wine knowledge. And his recently re-released book, Fruit in Glass, takes it even further, this time in hardcover.
It is a pocket guide to the wine world without being overly complicated.
A chat with the 20-plus year wine veteran reveals a deeply knowledgeable steward of the grape who first got in the business to impress girls in college. Now, with tips on seeing, swirling, and sipping wine throughout his book, his goal is to educate a new generation of wine lovers, one page at a time.
If you're outside the industry and you want to learn more about the industry, it's a good book to go to look at, because I'm talking about some things, why we swirl, and some tasting notes as far as understanding um, why this region is this region and why this region is this region. So it has a whole series on different regions that are hot that you should know about, and that are hot now. And then there's also regions that you should know about, like old world regions. There's also a pairing section in there where I'm going through the science of pairing wine with food. And so I think if you kind of want to get an all-encompassing idea of the wine world, Fruit and Glass is the book for you.
Gunter says the book is more of a tool for beginners and veterans alike, and with new black-owned wine brands seemingly springing up every week, there's lots of options and opportunities.
The doors are open, man. Right now, business-wise, Black people are connecting with each other in this industry. I have contacts now all the way across all across all 50 states that are all Black and in this industry. And so there is a network for you too if you're getting into this industry as a Black person, whether it's winemaking or wine merch or anything like that, wine books. There's a place for you. You just gotta reach out and talk to people. There's online forums now that are Black-owned wine forums. There's so much things out there because of social media. I would just recommend you take advantage of that.
Barely 120 pages long, the book is a quick read that packs a wealth of information, from tasting tips to perfect pairings. Gunter says it's exactly what any curious wine drinker needs to start their journey.
I wanted to figure out a way to introduce wine to our community, to Black community, so that they didn't feel like it was overwhelming, or they weren't looking at it as something that is unattainable.
And that's going to do it for this episode of WineNewsNavar.com. Please remember to support our sponsors on our website. Once again, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. I'm Jay Jackson. Cheers.